We're going to walk you through the installation of the J&L oil separator for your 3-liter Ford Explorer. Included in the J&L kit is a fully assembled oil separator with quick connect fittings, a mounting bracket, mounting hardware. The tools you're going to need for installation is a 10mm socket, an extension, a ratchet, a Phillips head screwdriver. For 2026 owners, some of them, you should also get a pair of clip puller tools. You can also use pliers, and then an assortment of pliers. If you have some right angle needle nose, those are very helpful, but you can get by with just a standard pair of pliers. Let's get started. We need to locate and remove our factory PCV line, which is this line here shaped like a horseshoe. There's a little blue tab that's on the left side if you're looking at the connection that you need to push towards the firewall. So we're going to push that and then lift up on the fitting, and that is going to lift up on our PCV fitting. I'm going to lift that up out of the way past the coolant lines here and rotate it around to expose the next little tab and pull that off. And here are the tabs. Okay. Now 2026 owners, some of them, I've now checked out a handful of these right here on a dealer lot. Some of them, the wiring harness is outside of this coolant line, which is going to interfere with where we mount the oil separator. What we're going to do is we're going to relocate this harness behind this coolant line, and we're going to do two separate things. One, we're going to pull out this push pin here, and then we're going to disconnect this coolant line from the expansion tank and route it around and reconnect it to the tank. So it's going to be a nice and simple job. So I'll show you how to do that. First, we're going to buy ourselves some room, clip puller tool, and pull this white push pin out. That's going to buy us some space here. In fact, we can go and disconnect the two that are on this side. Okay, and that's going to make us so we don't have to flex this line nearly as hard. These spring clamps, grab with a pair of pliers. You can use these nice nifty right angle needle nose if you have a pair. If not, regular pair of pliers will work too. But you need to work this clamp back. Okay, and you can go ahead and release that. Make sure that doesn't bite you. They like to bite you. And then we need to pull this line off of this coolant tank. It's going to be pretty stuck on there, so grab it with a pair of pliers and just give it a nice little twist while you pull. There we go. See, it's a very long barb, and then we're gonna basically just route this, try to keep it elevated, okay, so you don't spill any coolant out of it. There shouldn't be much of anything that wants to come out of it. So we're gonna come down and around, and now you'll see that your harness will be behind it. We can go and hook our line back up so we don't spill anything. Our clamp back up. Okay, this had a little tab that I pulled right off, but just this little tab just clips on the flat portion of this radiator shroud. And then we're going to push our line behind and refasten it with those same white pins. There you go. So now we have plenty of room to mount our oil separator, and this is going to be similar to all the other 25s and 26s. This line is routed this way. I'm not sure what they changed other than some people assembled these on a Friday versus a Tuesday. Go ahead and pre-install your J&L bracket onto the oil separator with the supplied screws. There's a logo on the bracket, there's a logo on the oil separator. Align them. This should be facing the engine. Take your threaded clip It's going to slide over this little tab off of the radiator shroud. Snaps right nicely into place. And then you're going to take your 10mm socket and extension and slide your oil separator into place. You're going to want to feed the hose that is pointing downward underneath the air intake. Here I'm doing this in a parking lot. I'm going to drop my bolt through the hole in the bracket. And feed it through the clip. Try to get that started by hand, a few threads. And I just want to snug that up by hand for now. We'll tighten it up on our last step. You'll notice here you have this large wiring harness that is secured by this little clip that goes onto this stud. I'm going to pull that up to just buy us some space. Our hose that is going over top of the intake is going to go to that PCV connection, and I'm going to actually go underneath this harness. What I want you to pay close attention to is see how this fitting is pointed straight down. That's where we want it. If it was pointed like that, that's not good. We don't want to twist the hose all up. So the fittings move. If they are tight, just give it a little bit more effort. They can be pretty snug depending on how long it's been in the box, but they are assembled with grease. So we're going to push that over the PCV connection. You'll hear it snap. And then we can re-secure our harness here with that stud. It is just fine if this harness is touching this line. We expect it. This has a nice protective sheath on it, electrical tape. You're not going to hurt our hose. It's just rubber hose, so it's not abrasive. And then same thing for our line to our intake. Make sure the connection is pointed towards where it needs to connect. And this one's a simple one. Push right into place. Now to remove our fittings, a little different than the stock ones, there's a button. It's on the back here. You press the button and pull up. It says push on it, so don't remove these clips if you want to remove the oil separator. Once we have that into place where we want it, our last step is just to tighten up our bracket. And that completes your installation. Pretty simple one. Service the oil separator, you can get to it right through here. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Biggest tip I can give you is when you're unscrewing it and emptying it, when you're reinstalling the reservoir, get it to the base of the O-ring so it just stops, and then give it a half a turn. No more. Treat it just like an oil filter. So if you really tighten it on hard, it's going to be very difficult to remove it at a later date. Collection rates can vary vehicle to vehicle, driver to driver. There's a ton of variables in how much these things collect. On average, on these 3-liter motors since the inception, 2020, you're going to see maybe a half ounce, 3/4 of an ounce of oil every 1,000 miles. So what we suggest you do is after 1,000 miles is to check yours. That'll give you a good idea of how often you need to service it. The can holds 3 ounces in its default form, how it comes. This kit is compatible with our extension that doubles the capacity, which is great for people that want some peace of mind. Maybe you're going 5,000 or 6,000 miles between oil changes, that you want to ensure that you're not filling it so you don't have to service it between changes. The extension is also very convenient for somebody that lives in a cold climate in the winter months, because you will build condensation in these cans in the winter months that's happening in the can. So you're going to have some moisture that mixes in with it that's going to increase your collection rate substantially. Especially if it's cold for a long period of time and you do like just very short trips where the can doesn't get hot enough to burn off that moisture. So keep a close eye on it if you're in a climate like that. Other than that, it's pretty simple. Not much maintenance to it, other than we do suggest that you remove it annually or every 12 to 15,000 miles. Pull your connections off. You can just unscrew the can from the bracket, and you want to flush out the filter that's in the top of the can with a can of brake parts cleaner to just spray it out, let it drain out of the PCV line into a bucket or oil drain pan and then put it back on. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.